Welcome to the ADVANTEST booth here at Semicon West. I'm delighted to be joined by Seyed Paransun. Nice to see you, Seyed.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you as well.
So, ADVANTEST has got a lot of unique capabilities that it offers the test community in semiconductor packaging. Let's walk through the story that manufacturers go through with ADVANTEST from the start to the finish. They get involved pretty much straight at the design side and before they've even cut the silicon.
Indeed. When the device is conceived, the actual functionality is conceived, our customers engage us to decide and define the tester configuration and the requirements that they are foreseeing to fully test the product. This is how they engage ADVANTEST. With me and my business, we engage our customers really understanding how we can best provide the interconnect solutions to test the product.
To test the product, okay. You work directly with the designer, essentially, and you look at it from, I guess, a design for test perspective as opposed to a design for functionality perspective. What is how long is the time process from conception, from starting to getting into the first article test boards and then getting into production?
It's a great question. So we engage our customers when they're towards the completion of their design, and we investigate aspects of test of the product, both in wafer test and final test. And we also focus on signal integrity, power integrity requirements of the device.
Yeah.
And the process of actual design of the PCB takes about 4 weeks. During that 4 weeks process, we also model the load board and ensure that we can meet the signal integrity, power integrity requirement of our customers. Once the design is completed, we review the design with the customer. Once we have their approval, we commit the design and we actually commence on the fabrication of the load board. The fabrication process takes about 2 weeks. After fabrication is completed, the board goes through extensive testing, and then it is submitted for SMT line, where we actually assemble passive or active components on the load board, and then it is tested again. That process takes about 2 weeks for fabrication and 1 week for assembly and test.
Wow.
So about a 7 weeks timeline, we will have a final product in our customer's hand, and they would use that for the first silicon validation process.
Right.
And then once the validation is completed, then we will commence a high volume ramp of these load boards to coincide with the high volume ramp of the actual test in the manufacturing environment.
Wow. Yeah, well, there's a lot involved in that because these load boards, some of them they're absolutely massive, up to 100 layers, I understand, and they're big. I think you said earlier they could be the size of the tester itself. You're not talking about an easy build. It's quite a very complex build.
Indeed. These load boards, like you said, in terms of size, they have to match the test head. So they're quite large, about 20 inches on the side, and they have to accommodate a very difficult and complex silicon to test. Therefore, they have to be multiple layers, like you said, up to 100 layers, and they take significant amount of expertise to manufacture them and make sure they meet the reliability as well as the electrical performance that's expected of them in a high volume environment.
Right, okay. So in addition to the boards, you also have other capabilities for doing things like the burn-in sockets, and to help you offer the whole suite of test tools that the customer needs to meet his requirements. Can you talk a bit about that?
Indeed. So as we mentioned earlier, the device complexity now is requiring our customers to have a more holistic view of the full signal chain of the device under test. So when you think about connecting the tester resources to the device under test, the signals have to go through a PCB and a socket, or a PCB and a probe head to reach the device under test. And to understand that signal path and making sure that signal path is robust, both in terms of mechanical and electrical performance, there's a lot of work that has to be done. And in ADVANTEST, we have combined those resources together. So we have a So we look at this solution as a holistic view, and we provide the load board and the socket together. So our customers engage one entity, and we can provide them an interconnect solution and take ownership,
Yes.
both in terms of performance, reliability, and quality.
Yes.
For them, that takes some complexity away from them, so they can focus on
Yeah, I would
silicon.
imagine it must be quite an advantage to being able to do this all from the one test house, rather than having to, contract it out to some other company that does burn and test, and then try and make it work with your system. So having it all under the one roof makes a lot of sense.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed, because it takes, like I said, it takes complexity away, and it provides ownership of the solution.
Okay. So looking at ADVANTEST as a company and your global footprint, I mean, you're not just a US-based company. Tell us a bit about your reach and how you service your customers across the world.
Great question. So we have decided to have independent, fully integrated supply chains to ensure our customers have resilient supply, and we can provide local support to our customers where they actually conduct business. So we have historically provided solution for our customers out of our fabrication facility in US, which has been very successful. This year we also acquired a new fab in Taiwan that allows us to provide similar solutions to the ecosystem that is very vibrant.
Yes.
And very much growing in Taiwan and in Asia.
Yeah.
We also, about 2 years ago, set up a supply chain in Korea for the Korean subcontinent. So we have a partner in Korea where we actually fabricate and assemble automatic test equipment boards for our customers from Korea. So we have 3 independent supply chains that we are now providing solutions to our customers.
Right. Excellent. Well, it's great work that you do, and it's very necessary work, obviously. So I want to thank you for telling us a little bit about it today.
Of course, and thank you very much for the opportunity.